new microphone. And this microphone, this blue snowball wonderful microphone, just kind of captured all sound in our wonderful environment.
But what were you talking about with the Quantic Dream?
Yeah, I was talking about. So, Quantic Dream. A couple of years ago, PlayStation 4, new game console, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
They showed us a tech demo of a new
game, yes.
Yeah,
With a
didn't read
robot?
that. Did you read that?
I crashed in the wall. They just told me not to crash in the wall.
No, they just don't tell you.
I'm going to the garage! Tell your story, John. I want to hear your story.
Yes, but they were not telling you not to
I'm
crash on the
terrible
wall.
at this game. We can both agree on that.
Tell the
All right.
story.
Okay. So, a couple of years ago, the PS4 came out. They were doing a tech demo to show us what they can do with the wonderful engine, game engine, and things like that. And one thing they've done is actually present us a tech demo of a game that wasn't a game at the moment, at that time.
Wow.
It was like a female robot getting out of a
Coming out of the shell.
Let me finish.
Yeah.
Alright, stop right there. Right there.
She's coming out of the shell. I'm listening.
You're going the wrong way. Alright, so getting out of our factory.
Okay.
That was the term I was looking for. So getting out of our factory and like going on herself in the world, and it was really, really beautiful. The animation was extraordinary. It was really good. So during the last year, they just re-showed something for this game, saying that this time around they're doing the real thing. So yeah, now it's really a game. And what I was telling you is, if sorry again about that clap on the table.
You should put like an oven mitt on your hand.
I
so
should
you won't
put.
make... yes.
I should put.
Put them on.
All right.
Just tell your story, John. Stop knocking on the table and tell the story. So they are planning to release the real game.
Yeah, and I was telling you that if every kind of new games on this console generation were to use real life action, they would have done so too, because what they're doing is way more complicated than that.
Travis mentioned you were
okay, so
that was my point.
So what you're telling is it doesn't fit for every kind of game. That I can understand. If you're having like a more realistic setting with human people, it is more money savvy to use like real live actors. And if they're doing like fantasy setting because you're like a dragonborn or
Whoa!
what? Shut up, Missy.
Listen
Go
to
on,
her.
John.
Listen to her.
She's rolling the engine. I'm having a half chub. We get it.
I was just going to tell you that no, it's not less costly. In fact, I think live actors are way more costly than.
You think so?
Depends on the actor, but depends on the actor, number of scene you have, the number of minutes of cinematic you have in your game, minutes, hour, whatever you have in your game. But overall, paying an actor for an entire scene, it costs a lot. That said,
if you're paying Tom Hanks, but if you're paying Missy McPompadour right there,
exactly what I'm telling you. Okay, depends on the actor, the time you have in the cinematic, the time they're acting, the retries, etc., etc. The thing is, when you're doing animation, it could cost you a lot more, depending on the time of game you're doing.
So,
depending on the type of game you're doing. And
the thing I was wondering if was is it like more cost efficient to use real live actors? So I guess for this game, they really check the ratio of just animating like full-fledged computer graphics character versus using real live actors. And as they were using like this really down-to-earth setting in a garage, it's a closed environment. It doesn't really cost a lot to just replicate that. So I guess they found that it was more of a good business decision to go with real live actors.
Absolutely. Plus, it's good for the immersion in the game. And second,
go.
Second, they don't have. It's a racing game. It's a car game.
Yeah.
So they don't have any crowd life. They don't have any people in the game. They don't have any. They're just cars.
Nah.
So you don't need to animate people when you can just hire them to do the work.
Yeah. So
my point is that it could not work in a game like, let's say, Assassin's Creed or I think.
But then again, it could work in Assassin's Creed.
No, it could not.
I'm not talking about like doing crowd life with huge amount of people in game, but for like cinematics, because we both know that most of cutscene Assassin's Creed are like just two chums talking in a room like, I do not follow you, Connor. What do you mean by that?
No.
It's just people talking, man.
Listen to what I'm telling you.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Your character is animated in Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
So, how could this be credible if you're playing? You enter the cutscene. Now your character is a live action character.
Oh, okay, so you're thinking like my character in Need for Speed is like this dude in the car.
You never
and
see him.
We always
Yeah.
see the character, so no, I don't want to leave the game. Jesus. Yeah, I have a car. I'm happy with it.
If you took the time to read what it's on screen,
why,
you would understand what you have to do
why
now.
the stuff on screen is important? I just want to just vroom. I just want to vroom, John.
It's the tutorial to edit, customize your car.
I don't care about it.
You need to do that to go further in the game.
Versus
That's
what?
basic tutorial behavior.
It's what you told me it was an arcade game.
Yeah.
And now there's all this bullshit. Jesus. Each grand, check the stat,
All
view
right.
the parts.
Give me the controller and continue to talk.
So, I was just like thinking about just throwing that idea here. Do you think we were gonna see more of this live action approach in cutscene in video games? Do you think it's gonna be more of a trend? Do you think that we have reached a point where we are trying to do so realistic stuff using computer graphics that just the developers, they told themselves, screw this, and we're just gonna hire real actors to do the job instead? Do you think we are at this point? And that's the first question. Do you want to answer this question? Can I continue to rant?
Yeah, you can continue.
Okay, I can continue to rant. Let's pretend we have a debate here. So my second question is, I forgot. I remembered. Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah. I'm gonna use multiple voice to simulate the debate. So I was also wondering, will the player are gonna enjoy it or not? Because for me, I'm a little creeped out. Because back in the days, when there was like big Paxton lookalikes, just doing cutscene in what was the name of the game? It was on PlayStation 1. It was like this old school shooter. I think it was made by Bungie, one of their first games. Let's say like Defcon 5 or Deceptor or something like alien shooter Kijigiz. Back in these days and in the Phantasmagoria days, because that's a game we share, it was pretty freaking impressive because graphics at the time, it was at Langolier's level. You don't understand what I'm telling, John, but once you're gonna check it, you're gonna barf in your mouth.
I'm not gonna barf.
It was like Alone in the Dark level. It was at the first Resident Evil level, or even worse. It was like in between like the Super Nintendo and PlayStation 1 era. the graphics were basically shit. So having like full motion videos, it looked really good. It looked like a really big improvement. Of course, they were really low budget, so the cinematographic qualities of it sucked. So it kind of fell out of fashion because of that, and also it was using a lot of disk space. As for now, the disk space isn't an issue anymore. The video quality, it was in a really low resolution. It isn't an issue anymore. But now I feel that we are reaching a point where the computer graphics are too costly to make, because you watch a movie like The Avengers and the CG is really awesome. And of course you can tell like in an uncanny way that, oh, this is computer graphics, this isn't real people, this is bullshit. But it does the trick, and it lets like the movie makers just make some insane scene and insane shots. So I wonder if for video game where the cutscene are mostly exposition, if it's the cat is doing some. Oh, the cat was
doing something.
The cat was cramping my style, you know.
Okay, sorry, I wasn't listening to you. What were you telling?
Why am I even talking? Huh? So I'm just wondering if it's like a cost cutting measure that they're gonna use. If we've reached a point where the CG is more costly to make than using real actors, and if it's gonna be good for games or bad for games. Is it just gonna end up in corny actings or performances, or is it really gonna just, as it is real live human beings, will we care more about it? So, or are we? I don't know, man. It raises a lot of questions.
I think it's you're going too far for two simple words. Immersive or not immersive?
Okay.
The thing is, with this game, from what I've saw so far, I think it's pretty much more immersive for a racing game.
I think it's work on this game, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, in this kind of game, I think definitely is the way to go. Why not? Even, especially if it costs them less to do this live action thing, and it's more immersive for the game. Why not?
Okay, so I'm gonna let it go for this game, you know, but I'm afraid that it's gonna become a trend, and more people are gonna try this. And we said that it works on this game because it has a real world setting, and we have like a first person kind of view, so we can assume that our own character looks like us. It could be me, it could be you. But in a third person game, or more in a fantasy game, I'm afraid that they're gonna use this trick way too much in the near future, and we're gonna get jaded really fast.
Maybe I have gone crazy, or just about to. I'm sorry.
The problem is, like in any video games, is that
Not taking no for an answer.
when they're doing something like that,
Something good?
something good, and let's say, even if for us it's not something new, for most of the current gamers who are playing PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC, for most of them, this is kind of new, right?
Yeah. The younger gamers, yeah.
So, let's say that... Sorry again for the clap on the table. So let's say that this...
Can we play the game?
Did
we finish the
yeah.
tutorial?
I think we did. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to leave it. Oh yeah, you did it. What?
I did it.
Yeah.
All right. So let's say for the new gamers, I think this is really good. This is a really good new approach, and I think as I was telling earlier, it's kind of more immersive that way. So I guess it's cool, but the problem is, if it's good and they're doing the exact same thing without a change for the next one, it will be bad. They need to improve for the next one.
Yeah, I feel it's gonna become a gimmick, or it's gonna be stale really fast. I'm afraid.
So yeah, I guess it works really well now, let's see if it will work well in the future.
And